Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Kings here, hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be going over Territory War. We get a lot of questions in the house and across the community about different things when it comes to Territory War, especially from new players. So hopefully this video will be a bit of an overview from start to finish, from the basics to more of the advanced stuff, in how to navigate the open world, what is Territory War and how does it work, and what is the point of getting involved in it. And more specifically, we'll be covering over some of the features and functions within the Conqueror's Blade system and game, which are going to really help you to stay on track. So first off, what is Territory War? Let's get into that. Let's get into Territory War and the open world. So when you leave your fief, you go into what's called the open world, and you can do this or view this by pressing M. The open world is primarily owned by players, or can be owned by players if you're strong enough. Each individual territory has land that can be secured by players, some harder than others. They are villages, cities, capitals and fortifications that can be secured. In the south, we have Regionopolis. In the middle, we have Torovaros. In the north, we have Mongolia. And on the far right, we have Conqueror City in the Borderlands. And these are all capital cities, the end game of the Territory War season. Now, when you zoom into the map, or you kind of approach a single territory, in this case we're using Mongolia as an example, there's a variety of things that need to be known. The first one is green. So anything that is green territory is your alliance. Anything that's blue is a friendly alliance. And anything that's red or hostile, which you can see with this icon at the bottom, is at war or hostile, enemies. So let's just change it back. So here we can see different types of villages, cities, they're all different types. And if we zoom in even further, we can actually see the resource nodes, the specific resources such as we have marble here, and there's a little bit left in that marble quarry. That gets updated, I think, every 12 or 24 hours. If we click on the city, for example, we can see the level itself. And we can click on the overview of that city and view the fief quests. Now, fief quests are really important because they level up your city, they give you more reputation, which will help you towards your end goal of a capital. And as we can see here, we have one fief quest which has a large quantity of building resources, which is required to push this bar all the way to the end to effectively level it up. So twice a week on Tuesday evenings and Saturday evenings, there will be a form-up of players from every house that want to enter the Territory War. What that means is, as you can see from the video here, a large army from every house will form, and they will plan different things with alliances, with enemies, attack targets, defense targets, and so on and so forth. And it's a real community event. As you can see here, in this particular scenario, we were entering a new region, and all of this region was pretty much owned by enemies or territory that we wanted to take for our own. And as you can see on the map there, we have a couple of different icons. The target symbols are declarations, so targets of our house and what we're going to attack. What this is strategic overview from a war commander that is looking over the battle and commanding in voice comms of something like TeamSpeak or Discord their team, telling them what to do, where to go, keeping an eye on a strategic overview of the battle, a bit like a kind of a strategist would do, in the olden days, standing on top of a hill and commanding their troops, etc. So there's different types of battles. The one you just saw was a city. In this case, this is a field battle. And what we're going to see here is a variety of different things. This battle itself has 15 versus 15. There's 15 enemy players versus 15 of our players. And what we're doing is we're working together to achieve certain objectives. There is an X point at the start of a map, which is very different from your typical game. You have normally an A, B, sometimes a C, and a home point. In Territory War, there is just your home point, which you can see just there on the left of the screen. And at the top right, you see the enemy home point, and we're fighting over the X. And when you first start a battle in Territory War, there's normally anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes dependent on the battle. And if you secure the X point, you get another 15 minutes. If you don't secure the X point, then you lose the battle after 15 minutes. So as you can see here, working together, we've managed to swarm the X point and we've managed to take it. And it takes a minute for that to cap. Both the X point and the home point take 1 minute. So you've got to make sure you take that into consideration. Winning or losing these battles then turns the territory green or red, dependent on if you've won and lost. And you can see, if you look in closely, you've got those different villages which are being clicked on now, and they have white arrows that are going in towards those villages. What that's saying is a battle is actively happening or currently happening. Same with the Westburg there and the Alta Westburg, they're flashing. So this means an active battle is taking place on those territories. So part of this is working together, listening to your strategic comms, the working out, say, what group you're in with your team leader, and you're then working commonly or against a common goal to achieve these territories. And you can see those little blue dots are either all of us or a variety of allies that are in the territory as well. You can't see your enemies' numbers unless they're extremely close, but your allies you'll be able to see map wide. So that's basically it when it comes to what the basics of territory war. And as it progresses and progressive, it's normally an hour long. So you start off the hour, you can start the attacks, and you will progressively work towards a plan each week, whether that's defense, whether that's attack, whether it's a bit of raiding and a bit of defense. It can really change week on week. So when territory war starts, there's a few little tips that I'd like to share with you. So the first thing you need to do is walk over to this guy, the watchman, at the edge of the city, or he should be standing around the horses by the entrance of the exit to the city. We click on the Leave Fief button, and then we have an option here to select some units. So we simply click here and we can select some cavalry or maybe perhaps some infantry. And we might want to select also a special unit, something like My Teletori, which are a great unit for being able to great unit that enables you to push towers and lots of great other stuff. We also have our food, our capacity, and more importantly our artillery. So if we click on those supplies, we select artillery in the menu, we can then select what artillery we want to take, and this will then follow us with our army. So in this case, let's select an optimal ballista. Let's grab a siege tower as well, just to show the difference here. So we'll select one, and we can see that siege tower has a huge amount of capacity there. So when we click Leave the Fief, what's going to happen is we're going to then be able to see what that effect looks like in the open world, carrying all of that extra weight. And as you can see, as I'm moving around, I'm extremely slow. So let's go back to the city, let's drop off our artillery, and let's see what we look like when we just use units. So we'll get our wagon here, we'll drop our artillery back into our camp, and as you can see, when I'm walking around, I should be a little bit faster. Not a massive amount faster, but still a little bit faster. And the reason is I have infantry, and your movement speed will always go off the slowest unit. So we'll remove our infantry, and if we just have horseback, we're much quicker. So some other things that you need to know are you can build things in territory war. Two things mainly. Firstly, the field camp, which helps replenish your army, and secondly, the outpost, which can be built when you're attacking a particular area. It can boost the amount of reputation that your house has by a certain amount, which will hopefully take you over another house and enable you to attack it over somebody else. So on the map here, another quick tip is we have a group leader there based in Orgolia. And at the top left of your screen, under the group leader flag, you have another little flag, and it says click to follow leader. And as you can see, my character then automatically starts moving towards that group leader's location. Now this is very useful for newer players when you get lost. It can be quite crazy in territory war, you might not know where you are, but your group leader, most often than not, will always know where they're going. So you can click that button and it will take you straight to them. Also, at the bottom of your screen, you have a supply line active, or what's commonly known as the food bar. Next to that, you have a cease forced march or force march, and this will help you move faster. And as you can see, as I click it and unclick it, my character moves ever so slightly faster. Now, if you're inside of your own area, you can go to your own villages, such as cities like Platland here, and I've got a few options. I can replenish my food, I can heal my units, and if it's my camp, I can even swap my units out. So you can only do this for areas that your camp is based in. Another quick one is the unit button here, which enables you to see what other units your team has. So your group of 5, what units they have and what units they don't. A few things to know about the map though is there's also other areas that you can replenish your food and supplies, and that is the wayside inns, which I've selected there around the map, and also the border forts are also neutral areas. You can also go to trading colonies. And that pretty much concludes the basics of territory war. Again, there's lots of more advanced things that we could sit here and talk about, but in terms of the basics and what you need to get going and to effectively know what you're doing in territory war, they're pretty much all you need to know. Again, if you have any other questions, please drop a comment on the video, or by all means come over to the Athena Discord and have a conversation with me. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. But for now, that pretty much concludes it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that helps, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.